It was a courtroom moment so humiliating, so catastrophic it could only belong to Prince Harry. The Duke of Sussex, once hailed as a modern royal rebel, was publicly chastised by a UK judge in a packed courtroom for his inappropriate and misguided line of questioning. Moments later, the judge made it clear Harry had lost the case. The courtroom fell silent, but the message thundered beyond the courtroom walls. This wasn't just a legal defeat. It was a stunning collapse of credibility, maturity, and judgment from a man who has spent the better part of the last 5 years attacking the very institutions he now desperately seeks to manipulate. Harry, visibly furious and red-faced, had attempted to challenge witnesses in a way the presiding judge deemed improper and non-compliant with the standards expected in a court of law. Legal experts and courtroom attendees alike described the scene as shocking, embarrassing, and downright petulant. This was not the image of a calm, rational litigant seeking justice. It was the outburst of a deeply insecure man unraveling under the weight of his own contradictions. To anyone who's tracked Prince Harry's litigious crusades against the British press and the UK government, this courtroom implosion came as little surprise. Harry has launched more than half a dozen lawsuits since stepping down from royal duties in 2020, mostly targeting media outlets like the Daily Mail, The Sun, and the Mirror Group for alleged phone hacking and defamation. While media accountability is a worthy cause, Harry's approach has been riddled with arrogance, entitlement, and a staggering detachment from legal norms. This latest courtroom disaster involved Harry's lawsuit against the Home Office over security arrangements in the UK. He demanded the right to personally fund police protection during visits, despite no longer being a working royal and voluntarily exiling himself to California. The UK government, backed by legal precedent and logic, argued that police protection is not for sale. A judge agreed, ruling against Harry in a scathing decision that dismantled the Duke's case as unsupported by evidence and incompatible with public policy. But rather than accept the court's judgment, Harry has persisted, appealing, grandstanding, and now humiliating himself further in yet another legal skirmish. His angry behavior in court and his attempts to steer questioning in his favor have only reinforced what many observers already believe: Prince Harry is not seeking justice. He's seeking vindication for a war he believes he's waging against the British establishment, a war he started and is now losing. Harry's courtroom antics are not the righteous fury of a wronged man, they are the flailing gestures of a prince who cannot accept that the world no longer revolves around him. His repeated assertion that he deserves special treatment, whether it's private security funded by taxpayers or extraordinary deference in court proceedings, betrays a toxic sense of entitlement masquerading as activism. In this latest hearing, Harry attempted to personally intervene during cross-examination, allegedly overstepping procedural boundaries by trying to corner a witness with irrelevant and misleading questions. The judge's reprimand was immediate and stern. "This is not a platform for personal grievances," the judge warned. "If the claimant cannot respect courtroom decorum, the proceedings will not continue on his terms." The message was unmistakable. Being a prince does not entitle you to hijack justice. But this isn't new. In previous legal appearances, Harry has shown a disdain for the very rules he claims to defend. He has submitted lengthy witness statements attacking the press and palace alike, often using the courtroom to rehash personal dramas that have nothing to do with the legal merits of the case. Time and again, his strategy has involved flooding the record with grievances, not facts. In the past 2 years, Harry has faced defeat after defeat in British courts. In December 2023, his case against the Mail on Sunday over a Home Office leak was thrown out. In June 2023, his libel suit against the same paper collapsed spectacularly when the judge ruled that Harry had no realistic prospect of winning. In late 2022, a judge ruled against him in a case involving security arrangements, stating that Harry's claim was bound to fail. Despite these losses, Harry continues to portray himself as a noble fighter against corruption and injustice. In reality, he has squandered millions in legal fees and further alienated the British public, who are increasingly fatigued by his self-serving crusades. Polling now shows Prince Harry's approval ratings in the UK have plummeted to all-time lows, with over 70% of Britons expressing disapproval of his conduct. The irony? Harry claims his legal actions are meant to protect his family's safety and dignity. Yet, every courtroom meltdown, every scolding from a judge, and every failed lawsuit only makes him appear more reckless, combative, and detached from reality. Harry's legal rampages aren't merely about principle. They're about optics, specifically the carefully curated image he and Meghan Markle have been trying to project from California. That of brave truth-tellers wronged by the British monarchy and media. This image is aggressively marketed through Netflix deals, ghostwritten memoirs, Spare, and bombshell interviews with Oprah. But British courts aren't Hollywood. Judges are not swayed by sob stories or victim narratives. They demand evidence, precision, and professionalism, all of which Harry seems incapable of delivering. His courtroom failures are a symptom of a deeper problem. He has confused fame for authority and grievance for evidence. The Sussex brand thrives on conflict, not credibility. But as legal loss after legal loss stacks up, the gap between Harry's self-image and reality is becoming impossible to ignore. When a UK judge has to warn a prince about courtroom behavior like a misbehaving schoolboy, the game is up. The emperor has no clothes. This latest courtroom fiasco will have consequences far beyond the courtroom. Already strained relationships with the royal family will deteriorate further. Prince William is said to be exhausted and disgusted by his brother's constant provocations. King Charles III, in a rare moment of steel, reportedly refused to intervene on Harry's behalf during the security dispute, stating through aides that legal matters are not family matters. And what of the British public? Once sympathetic to Harry's mental health struggles and desire for independence, public patience has run dry. His increasingly erratic legal behavior is being viewed as a national embarrassment, an Americanized soap opera playing out in the once hallowed halls of British justice. Even royal commentators who were once supportive have turned. Historian Robert Lacey recently remarked, Harry is no longer fighting for justice. He's fighting for relevance. Prince Harry's descent from respected royal to courtroom cautionary tale is now complete. His latest courtroom humiliation, being scolded by a UK judge for improper questioning and losing the case live, has exposed the hollowness of his crusade. There is no noble cause here, only a wounded ego trying to reassert itself through litigation, media manipulation, and public tantrums. In the end, Harry has achieved the very thing he claims to fear most, irrelevance. His lawsuits are failing. His popularity is plummeting. His credibility is shot. And in the courtroom, where truth, not titles, rules, he has been weighed, measured, and found lacking.